guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Arnavi Mitra and I'm a software developer engineer at Amazon. So I guess you have already watched my previous video where I said that I have cracked Amazon, and I will start a new series and I will explain everything, like how I switched, how I worked on my portfolio, I worked on my CV, applied, and I got this job in Amazon. So this is the first video in this series, and here I will give you a brief about how I applied on Amazon and how was my interview experience. And as you have already watched the thumbnail, I have said that I didn't go with any referral, I only applied with my CV. So let's start. So in the applying process, I went to Amazon job portal and I was continuously applying with my CV. So there were there were many roles for software developer engineer in various teams. So, and I was applying from like last year in 2021 August September. From that time I was applying, but I didn't receive any positive feedback at first. But then what I did, I worked on my CV, I worked on some good projects and I added them, and then finally again I started applying, and in the meantime I worked on some projects. I did some full stack courses. I will surely tell about that in detail in my another video. So for now I will say that I actually worked on my portfolio and prepared a good CV. I included my competitive programming links from in that, like Leetcode link. I generally more use Leetcode, and give some project links, and then I prepared a good CV, and finally I again I applied, and then I got a mail that my CV is shortlisted and I will get a test link, and then interview things will happen. So this happened in around October. Last week I got the mail that my CV is selected and I will be given the test link. So now I will tell how was my test and interview. So as I mentioned that I got the test link around October end week, and I had the like November first week I had to appear for the test, and I learned from somewhere that if I give the test and if I pass, then immediately after I will be there will be an interview will be scheduled. So what I thought, that time I was in the preparation. I have already given Power Programmer test by then, and I was in that procedure, so I was ready. But I thought it's better if I could revise each and everything. So I decided to give the test on a Friday second half, so that I can get the weekend, and even if I am giving the test on Friday second half, so there is chance that in the worst case also my interview will be scheduled on Tuesday or Monday second half. So I will get at least 2.5 days for prepare. I mean for revision I was prepared that time. So I give the test, and in the test there were two I would say Leetcode medium level questions, and one was from graph and another was greedy algorithm that we need to use priority queue to solve. I can't say the exact question, but I can say the type of the question. So for those two questions were medium level question for me, and I was able to solve them. And also with the question we had two another other than coding question, there were two questions where we have to write what approach we are using to solve it, and is it the optimized one, why we are using it. So it's like a brief about this solution approach what we have taken. And after this four question, there was one survey count of thing where we had to some answer some behavioral question, like MCQ type question, no, like that. So after the test was done, I was sure that I will be called because I was able to solve those two questions. But I didn't receive a mail immediately, and I had to wait for around 2 to 3 weeks. and in December I got the mail that I have cleared the test and my interview round will be scheduled shortly. And there was one call with the HR. There was one meeting and she was saying from where we can prepare, like she said you can prepare for from Leetcode. There was one site pram, there you can do interview practice, you can go to interview bit, these things they said. And normally like there will be two DSA coding question round, and then there will be bar raiser and HR managerial round. So these things the HR said in that meeting. And then I was waiting for my interview rounds, and I was preparing. So in that time actually I had some preparation rough notes that I prepare for Power Programmer. So I was revising those, and I also went and saw some online tutorial for last minute revision. For this also I will create one video and tell how I prepared my last minute revision notes. And actually in the interview this revision notes helped me, and I got common type of questions. So let's now start with the interview. And one thing that even though they said that my interview will be happen soon, but my interview first interview round was on February, so I got 2 months time to prepare. I don't know why was it got delay. Maybe Amazon was hiring more oftenly and there were many drives, so that's why it got delayed. But it was good for me, I got a chance to prepare. So my first and second interview scheduled on the same day. It was one February when I gave the interview. So in the first interview I would like to say that I was very much tensed about the interview, because this is the first time I am going to give one interview in such a big company. I read a lot of things, what can we do, like how to approach and all, but still I was very much tensed. So when the interview started, an interviewer came and he at first what he did, he introduced himself, and not only he said about what work he does and how long he is with Amazon, but also he said like what's his hobby, how he spend his time in the work from home and all things. So it's just I my confidence I boosted up my confidence. Like it's not going to be an hard interview, and interviewer is not going to roast me. That I thought like it will be easy, because before that also I gave many interviews, but mainly interview starts with interviewer come and ask you what is your name, and he keep on asking question. But here interviewer came and he just lightened the environment. He said about his hobbies and all, and it actually boosted my confidence. And okay, and I was like, okay, so it's going to be a cool round. I don't have to panic a lot. I can give my approach and it will be easy. Like I got that confidence that time. So this is one thing I want to point, that it's really good that the interview didn't came and keep on asking me question. He gave introduction about himself. So now it's time for the question. So what he asked me, first question, it was a question from tree, and I would say it's an medium level question. If anyone has covered tree traversals, then it will be easy for him or her to solve. So when the first question he gave, I was able to solve it. But there was I did a small mistake, so that's why edge case won't be passing. So once I gave him my approach, he asked me, are you sure, can you check this line? So when I checked that line, and I was thinking of some edge cases, and I realized that yeah, I have one mistake. So I said yeah, this edge case won't be passed, and I corrected that one. So it's also and one thing that he didn't just try and grill me, and he just normally asked pointing out, actually helped me to solve that question completely. So after that he asked me another question from graph, and it was an hard level question, but I was prepared with graph, all type of graph traversal odds all. So it doesn't seem hard for me, and I actually know how to solve that question. So I was able to solve that question, and he was happy with me. And after that he asked me if I have some question for him. And yeah, I asked one question like about the team and Amazon culture. And one thing I want to point out, so suppose interviewer is asking you a question, you just don't say I don't have any question or something. You always ask a question that will show you that yeah, you have interest in the company, you are really eager to crack the company for its work culture, and you want to know more. You are just not just giving the interview. So always ask a question, you can prepare. And I will also prepare another video. I will say what kind of question you can ask and what you should do, and do's and don'ts about the interview. I will surely make another video. So this was my first round. Now it's the time for second round. It happened the same day in the evening slot. So in the second round there were two interviewer, and the same, like they came and they introduced themselves first, and then they asked for me to introduce. And this time they asked me one behavioral question, like Amazon has 14 behavioral topics, and they ask question from those behavioral topics. So it's must think that you go and prepare some stories so that you can answer for those questions. So after giving that answer, we directly go for the coding round. So the first coding was one matrix, a code on one matrix. And it was an easy question for me. I was able to solve it. But when he asked me, I gave the time complexity wrongly. So he asked me, are you sure, can you check and tell me again? Actually I got confused a little. So I again checked, and I said that yeah, it was my mistake, this will be the correct time complexity, and he was okay. And in the second question, it was one linked linked list question. That question I actually already solved, but for that I need extra time complexity. So then he said don't use extra space complexity. He said don't use extra space, try to solve it in place. So I panicked a little, because that time I was not able to figure it out how to solve. But he said okay, no issues, you just have a pen and paper and think for some time, and then you can give me the approach. So after thinking, the approach clicked me, and I quickly dry run some test cases and told him the approach. He said okay, can you please code it? I coded it, and he asked me to dry run some test cases. All the test cases passed, and he was happy with me, and the interview ended. And here also he asked me if I have some question. I ask him another question, not the same question, because all the interview feedbacks are recorded. So you should make sure that you are not asking the same question in all the interview rounds. So it will show that you have only prepared one question and you are asking the same question. So don't do like that. So it was my first and second round, and after that round I was quite sure that I will get call for the third round. And I was waiting, and after like 3 weeks, my third round, which is the bar raiser round, actually scheduled. So for the bar raiser round, I learned that interviewer can ask question from anywhere. Mainly the interviewer will be from outside the project that I am going to join, and he can ask any question from my CV or anything from my past experience, or maybe some behavioral questions. So that time one thing I realized, that in online there is not much resource on how to prepare on behavioral questions. So I looked many places and finally prepared some of the questions. I will surely make another video, and I will tell like how to make stories on each and every of these 14 behavioral questions. So I was ready with my behavioral topics, and I also learned some of the LLD, because I learned even if it's a SD1 and you are an experienced employee, they can ask LLD questions. So for the bar raiser round, start with the interviewer introducing himself, and then he asked me some behavioral question and then quickly jump to the LLD part. Now this LLD part is not that I had to design some database or some system kind of thing. If you have watch Leetcode, in Leetcode there is a section design. You can go there and check, like there were some famous questions like design LRU cache, and also this kind of questions are there in the Leetcode, and I got similar kind of questions where I had to use oops and design something. So he asked me two questions. One was based on an based on a scenario, I have to design how the things will be happening, and the second question was I had to design one data structure based on some constants. So I can't say the exact question, but two questions were like that, and I had actually solved that kind of questions in Leetcode. If you like follow the Leetcode contest, there are this kind of questions, and I have actually solved Leetcode design part. So question pattern seemed similar to me, and I was able to solve both the two questions. And then he asked me if I had any question, and he also asked me to about something from my CV. And my interview went well. It was not that I heard that in bar result round you will be grilled a lot. It was not happened with me. I was able to solve, and also that time was not much, because for solving the first question I took a lot of time. So for the second question he asked me, you can simply tell me the approach, you don't need to write the code. So it was fine, and I was sure that all the three rounds are well, and I was waiting for my fourth round. So after finishing off my third round, after 1 week I got a call from HR. That time actually I was out of my town, and it was on Friday afternoon, so I suddenly got a call from an unknown number, and she said congratulations, you got the offer from Amazon SD1. So I asked, so only 3 rounds happened, so won't be any managerial round? She said no, as your experience and your bar result and managerial round was combined, so you are selected. And I said I said like, oh, okay. So then she asked me some details, and finally asked me about my notice period and all. They were absolutely okay with my 90 days notice period, and she just said about all my offer details, and finally I resigned and I joined Amazon on July 4th. And this is like my story, how I switched from a service based company to a product based company. So I know there are many people like me who are stuck in service based company, or also there are many students who want to join product based company. So my series, I guess this will be helping you, because I will be telling all my journey, what I did, how I worked on my portfolio, how I prepared a good CV, how I focused on my revision notes, how I prepared DSA, what was my how I worked for my those 14 Amazon principle. Each and everything I will be covering. So you can, if you have any more doubt, you can let me know in the comment section. Also you can join with me in LinkedIn. Also join my Telegram group, and you can ask me any question, and you can connect with me. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.